Yeah, I mean, it's opening day. There are always a lot of variables on opening day, and there are even more this year for a number of reasons, and that would be another one. You know, Chan's had a lot of success in this league of, running, his style offense, but he may modify that some and do something that would take advantage of Miami's personnel, or maybe philosophically he's has some different ideas than what he had. We saw him at the Jets most recently, so we're just gonna have to wait and see on that, and how he decides to attack us versus how he might attack somebody else. Those are all unknown. So it just adds to the intrigue of the opening day, which there's always a lot of that anyway. But this year it'll be even harder to really go into the game with a lot of confidence of what your opponent's going to do.
And with Tua, obviously no the challenges, no preseason tape, hasn't played a game since I think it was October. How do you sort of? I know you always prepare for everybody. How do you prepare for something like that?
Yeah, I mean, you can say that about a lot of their guys. They've had guys that they drafted that I'm sure will play a lot, and then they had other players that they signed in free agency that I'm sure will play a lot. So we have some guys in that category too. So we'll just have to see how all that plays out. Other than having a general knowledge of the player's skills and a general knowledge of what you want to prepare for. You can't prepare for everything, but you pick the things out that you think are most likely, or maybe if you've seen a lot of something from your team, you don't spend as much time on that and spend a little more time on something else you think that you might need to work on. But however that ends up being composed, you just do the best you can to be ready to go, and then certainly there's going to be a lot of adjustments within the game. As things start to unfold, we'll know a lot more at the end of the first quarter than we could possibly know now. But we'll just have to, see how that goes. They're in the same boat, so we'll see how it comes out.
Next question, Ben Volen, followed by Phil Perry.
Good morning, Bill.
Hey, Ben.
Quick question, kind of in a similar vein about preparing for this game against Miami. Obviously, their last game was Week 17 last year against you guys. How relevant do you find that tape in preparing for this game, especially considering both coordinators have been or are new this year?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think everything has some relevance. We'll see how the percentages play out when we get to Sunday, but Miami had some success in some of the things that they did in that game, and so we'll be aware of that. But there are other things that we can go back and look at. I mean, Coach Flores knows us obviously very well, probably as well as any coach in the league does. And offensively, defensively, and special teams, there are things that we're going to prepare for, but I'm sure we'll see things that we're not working on too. And so we'll just have to try to count on our fundamentals and our rules and being sound to take care of those things.
Next question, Phil Perry, followed by Jim McBride.
Hey, Bill, how's it going?
Good, Phil.
I have sort of a roster building question unique to this year. Looks like in Philadelphia they've kept an extra quarterback on the practice squad, but he's not actually physically going to be with the team. I'm wondering if you and your staff considered doing anything like that, given the nature of that position and how important it is, obviously, or are the protocols such that you're feeling pretty confident that you wouldn't need to do something like that?
Well, I think we got Scott Zolak right around the corner if it really comes to that. So hopefully he'll be ready to go if we need him.
Might take a while to get that arm warm.
Scott's a big, strong guy. I don't think it'd take too long.
You feel, in all seriousness, though, Bill, like when it comes to those guys and they're meeting together and things like that, is it just that you guys have a system set up where there's maybe not a ton of contact between them in case anybody did have something?
Yeah, I mean, Phil, it's, everybody's in the same boat on this, and there are really just a lot of unknowns. So, you can take, there's, several different approaches. I don't know that, there's a right or wrong answer. I think everybody's going to do what they think's best based on their situation. We've talked about various scenarios and how to, best maintain the depth and, quality of our team. But again, there's a lot of things that we can't predict. So we've done what we feel like's the best that we can do in that area. But I don't know if that's. And again, it will depend on what happens. So we'll just have to see how it plays out. I think we're ready to do some things if we feel the need to do them. And so if that happens, then we'll react accordingly. At this time, I feel like we're okay for where we are, but that could change. So we'll just have to see.
Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Next question, Jim McBride, followed by Alex Barth.
Good morning, Coach.
Hey, Jim.
Just wondering how you feel your players reacted and responded to the unique challenges of this offseason and this camp, now that camp's done.
Yeah, I think, thanks for the question, Jim. I think these guys really handled things very professionally. They understood the things that they needed to do, both individually and what we need to do as a team. There are a lot of new policies, protocols, just, I would say, the daily routine. Things changed quite a bit from what guys around here have been used to, and guys that were new coming in maybe didn't know what our routine was, but they had to adapt to a routine that was different from wherever it was they came from. So that includes the coaches and all the other support people and so forth. So it was, a lot of things we had adjusted as we went. We made some changes from the first day and couple days and first week and so forth. So it was very much of an ongoing process, and that may occur now too as we get into the regular season. We've tried to take what we did in training camp and modify it so that we can be efficient in the regular season, but we might have to do that too. But I think that the staff, not just the coaching staff, but the entire staff, that whether it's handling our food or equipment or the training room, so forth, and then obviously the players, that they've all been very professional, handled things well, made adjustments, sometimes not easy adjustments, or sometimes things need to be done very quickly because we recognize the situation needed to be adjusted or fixed. So they reacted and got those things done. So I think we've been in a pretty good place. We've gotten a lot done. We still have a lot more to do. We're not where we would normally be at this time of year, but I don't think anybody else is either. So we'll just have to see how all that plays out here once we start competing with other teams on the field. But I couldn't ask for any more than what everybody's given us to this point. That's all the way across the board. So
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Looks like two final questions, Alex Barth, followed by Doug Kine. Go ahead, Alex.
Morning, Bill.
Hey, Alex.
So Ryan Fitzpatrick's played more games against you in your time with the Patriots than any quarterback besides Peyton. I'm just curious, your thoughts on his progression from when he first started off to now, and if any specific game or moment sticks out to you when facing him.
Yeah, well, Ryan's a smart player, very experienced player, and a very instinctive player. He does things on the field that are done through instinct and experience and confidence. And so every situation's a little bit different. You got to be careful, kind of overplaying him, because he'll do things that he'll take advantage of those situations where you overplay him in one way or another. He's able to, certainly has a great grasp of Coach Gailey's system for the amount of time that they've worked together. So I'm sure that he can go in and out of things that they need to do to take advantage of defensive weaknesses and opportunities and things like that. So, he's a tough competitor. He's a a tough guy to tackle. He's got good quickness and can stay in the pocket and, hard to bring down. He's also an excellent, game manager and passer, and, we certainly saw plenty of that last year from him. So, we have a lot of respect for what he can do and how well he's done it and can still do it. And he's a little unpredictable, so that's, that just makes him a little more difficult to defend because of his versatility and his ability to, with confidence attack weaknesses that the defense presents.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sorry, final question is Doug Kai. Go ahead, Doug.
Good morning, Bill.
Hey, Doug.
What kind of progress have you seen from a couple of the rookie linebackers, Josh Uche, Anfernee, Jennings? And I know those are two guys who had some versatility coming out of college. So have you kind of figured out what role you're going to slot them into as well?
Yeah, well, I think, that's a great question. And I think any role that we put anybody into at this point is going to be done with, we'll have to see how it goes. But you're right, those players do have a good degree of flexibility, and they showed that in college, and they've shown it here in camp. How it actually plays out obviously remains to be seen. We'll have a plan. We'll have an idea of how we think it'll go, or the areas that we want to use them, and that may change from week to week. And so forth. But as it stands right now, we'll have something, but we'll have to see how that works itself out. And as you mentioned, they have a lot of versatility. There are other players on our team that have versatility too. So when you combine those things together, you just have to figure out what you feel like gives you your best combination from an execution standpoint. But also gives you some flexibility to handle the things that your opponent does. And certainly this week with Coach Gailey's offense, where they have the ability to run a lot of different personnel groups. I mean, they have a lot of receivers, they have a fullback, they have some different types of running backs, they have tight ends, and they have different types of tight ends with different skill sets. So when you start mixing and matching those different personnel groups, you can come up with a lot of combinations. And somehow defensively you're going to have to be ready to handle all of them. I don't know if they'll do all of them in the game, but I'm sure they will somewhere along the line, and you just have to be ready for that. So that's a challenge for a defensive system, and versatility is a key part of that.
Thank you very much, Coach. Thanks, everyone. We'll have Josh McDaniels coming up next.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
How do we inspire people to lead their healthiest lives? How do we bring everyone together so that healthcare finally works for all of us? We know how. We are the how. Optum. How well gets done.
What's my retirement savings plan? Oil, baby. Oil. Sprinkler pipe. Diane!
Ready or not.
Gillette ProGlide and ProGlide Gel. 5 blades and a pivoting flex ball designed to get virtually every hair on the first stroke while washing away dirt and oil. So you're ready for the day with a clean shave and a clean face.
For over 60 years, this team has transformed itself into a championship organization. For over 160 years, our team has demonstrated a similar mentality. There are no days off. Our front lines are fortified by people who sacrifice individuality for the team. Our shelves are also stocked with the best quality products and ingredients. Our team members know their roles. We're proud to do our jobs. Shaw's, the official supermarket of the 6-time champion New England Patriots.
My Caleb sofa and love seat. With Bob's discount, you get both pieces for just $7.99.
$7.99? Are you joking?
Do I look like I'm joking?
Yes, you look like you're joking.
I'm serious.
Cool.
Get Bob's discount! How do we inspire people to lead their healthiest lives? How do we bring everyone together so that healthcare finally works for all of us? We know how. We are the how. Optum. How well gets done.
What's my retirement savings plan? Oil, baby. Oil.